Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode, number 134 of the Limelight. I'm your host Fareen here all the way from Dubai, and I'm a voice coach, podcast coach, and also writing a book on relationship. Well, today on the hot seat, we have a very interesting personality. She is a PhD scholar at Department of Human Development and Family Studies. She is a published author, a LGBTQAI plus ally, founder of Kidoquia. So, listeners, please welcome our guest, Vishakha Tyagi. Hello, Vishakha. How are you doing today?
Hi, Fareen. I'm absolutely amazing. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, and I've been waiting for this podcast to happen with you.
Same here, same here. It's very much true. I have been so excited about this. I have been looking forward to this. We have been looking forward to this from what I think 14, 15 days.
I can say like 2 months actually, if it has to be precise.
Right, right, right.
So before we talk about what you do, about your research and what you offer to the community, I would like you to tell our listeners two things about yourself.
Okay. The very first one is I would say that an exciting person who is basically, keen to do new things. You tell me anything that this is something new, or you tell me anything that I have not heard of, or you give me a new concept, any concept. It could be a philosophy, it could be a new game, and I'm very excited about it. So
Okay.
that is first. And second one is I love cooking, I love baking. So I think food is something that everybody connects with really well. So
Yeah,
that is another thing about me.
that's nice. Okay. Now you are teaching, you're doing your PhD also. Why did you decide to do research on transgender community?
Okay, first of all, it's a very interesting question. And thank you very much for asking me this question because I love answering this particular question. The reason why I decided to pursue my research on this particular community is because, like I told you, my discipline is human development and family studies. We
Yeah.
study a lot of theories about men, we study a lot of theories about women, we look into various perspectives when it comes to family, like it's the smallest social unit, right? So when we talk about society, when we talk about humans, and when we talk about human development, so I feel it's not just even a matter of my feelings. It's a fact. It's a real fact that people who belong to third gender are just as much part of the society as you, as me, as any other straight person, right? So that is where I felt that okay, I have been studying about various theories related to men. Then we have gender studies, we have a major topic which is women's studies. I never came across, or I've never heard of any particular course or any particular subject offering the people here, the graduates here, the adults here who are studying, who have enrolled themselves into educational system. I have never seen any particular agency offering such particular course, or even introducing the concept, introducing or just talking about the third gender. Although now it is coming into light, and I 100% acknowledge it, but I think we need to pick up the pace because there is a lot that needs to be done and we don't have enough time. So that was one thing. I basically had this notion that what is going on, somebody has to do something. And because I was fortunate enough to recognize this particular thing, therefore I felt like I would be very happy if I, in whatever way I can contribute, if I can do it, I should do it. And that is why I'm very happy with what I am doing. And that's the reason.
That is amazing. We always tell we want to change the society, we need to do something,
Exactly.
but we don't do. But what if we start the change from ourselves and then develop from there, right?
Right. And moreover, when you have the perfect opportunity to introduce it to a formal system, I mean, it's amazing, no?
Yeah, very true. Now,
Yes.
during the summit, which you were talking also about sensitizing about the transgender community to our common society, right?
Yes.
So, can you
Yes.
just tell more about it?
Yes, okay, definitely. See, when we talk about the contemporary setting of our social systems, right, we have, whether we talk about our healthcare system, whether we talk about our legal system, we can look into all kinds of systems that the society is offering to us, right? But just imagine that these people up till 4 or 5 years ago, they did not have identity cards, and still major section of them still do not have identity cards. And identity document is the basic thing. You go and you want to avail any facility, you want to enroll anywhere, first thing that anybody would ask you is some form of identity card.
Yeah.
Otherwise they cannot enroll you, you cannot register into it. So simply we can look at the things that they do not have any proof that where do they exist. They do not have any proof of citizenship, they do not have proof via which they can, or they do not have any means to access the services which are there. First of all, I think that, see, we have national health mission, right, in India, wherein a lot of aspects are covered, women related, child related, but we do not see such things if we talk about the third community, right?
Yeah.
So merely just think about existing into today's society, and especially now that almost everything has become digital, right? You need to put in your Aadhaar card or Aadhaar
Yeah.
number first or something like that. And you don't even have that. So it's just an example of how much left out these people still are. They are so unrecognized even up till today. And this is just one thing that I'm acknowledging about these people. When I talk about sensitizing the common people, by common people I mean straight people who are living in a family system, who have husband, wife, and children, or who are living with their parents. So such family systems, I have noticed that they are very uncomfortable. They do not want to discuss, they do not want to talk about anything when it comes to transgender people. If we are talking about hijras, they feel shy, they are running away from it, and I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand it now, but there is no reason for it, right? It's just a, we can say, the way that society is working now, if we talk specifically about these people. However, it should not be like this, because there is no reason to behave in this way, right? So when I talk about sensitizing people, I want people to feel this. I want people to acknowledge this, that they are just as much as human as anybody else, as you or me, or as any that people who whoever would want to address this particular issue, or this particular whoever is concerned about it, right?
Right.
Sensitivity is when you acknowledge that the other person is also a person. He or she should also be included in the society. One very important thing when we talk about transgender community or the third gender is that they have faced extreme social exclusion, right? We can look at various cases wherein they have been disrespected, wherein they have been forced to go out of the institution or whatever facility it is.
Yeah.
And and if we just look at it, I mean, it's such a harassing society in many cases, right?
Yeah.
And so this is wherein I talk about sensitivity. So you should be sensitive enough. Now my discipline is human development, right? And we start right from the childhood. So I understand that whenever we talk about a child, and whenever we are basically building the construct of gender into that child, we should not be going forward with binary perspective that, okay, he is a male, he's your uncle, she is a female, she's your aunt, or she is your mousy or mommy. It should not be like that. And looking at today's world, we are living in 2021. In a few months it would be 2022,
Yeah.
and yet we are just indulged in just this binary framework. There's a lot of people that we would just leave, which we shouldn't do, right?
Yeah.
So that is wherein I talk about sensitivity. That is when parents are being trained, parents are looking at books, parents are finding a way to take care of their children in best possible manner. I think when they go for counseling, or when they are preparing themselves, this is one thing that they should prepare themselves for, because their own child might associate himself or herself or themselves to the other construct, other than the binary construct, right? So
Right.
they should themselves be prepared, because if they are prepared, they would be able to offer the child the same love and care. They would be able to accept the child. And if this is what people acknowledge, right, Fareen, then I can definitely say that this problem would eradicate itself at a much, much greater pace.
Yeah, you're right. And I think more awareness must be given to the common society. The society, you say, like, no, we are all straight. And anytime
Yes.
we come across people who are of the third gender, I
Hmm.
remember you saying we just no, don't look at them, or
Yeah,
maybe our parents say,
exactly.
don't see
Yes,
there, don't see there. If they come and tell you something, then oh my God, all that kind of fear is put in our mind from very small itself, right?
exactly, exactly.
That
Your
shouldn't
parents are
happen.
like, exactly. Whenever there is some uncle, auntie passing by that you don't even know, you just know that they are your neighbor. They live maybe three, four houses away. But
Yeah,
your parents are like, beta, namaste, auntie, namaste, uncle, karo, right? And when
yeah,
such a person or a third person, third gendered person is coming, parents themselves are so scared of them. They
yeah,
themselves do not know how to deal with that situation. I don't know what is so difficult about it.
yeah. When you were talking all those things were just occurring, like
In your mind.
how, yeah, it's seriously, because when I used to go to a trip to Mumbai, and then the car, we used to see these people, when you're not giving them the opportunity to study for a proper job, what else they will do? They will go on streets and beg,
Exactly.
right? What else they can do?
Exactly.
And then if you're not giving them money, and they'll say, oh, they will give you badua, and then that will change your life. What bullshit is that? I mean,
Seriously. It's just a system of, and they're just surviving, because
yeah.
even after having the potential to thrive, even after having potential to excel in any form of art, in any form of other profession, right? But
Yes,
they are not even given in equal opportunity. So how can you blame them? Or
that's
how
true.
can you say that these people are doing this or that? They are surviving.
Yes, very true. And to tell you frankly, Vishaka, I started my podcast in 2016, but I wanted to get someone from that gender in 2017 itself. I was searching all around Facebook. I couldn't find somebody. I don't think they'll tell that they are transgender, or,
Exactly,
you know,
exactly. Yes, yes,
it's,
yes.
and I'm really happy now I am able to get somebody who can put a voice to for them, support. It's really
Exactly.
nice. Okay, now,
Hmm.
did you get to meet anybody from that community to interact, to know their story, someone who is at a high level, low level, or they're just normal as us?
To answer your question, I would like to say I have almost met everybody. Like, I have met a person who is living with his parents, right?
Okay.
That person is a transgender male. So
Mm-hmm.
that person was born in a female body,
Okay.
but associates himself as a male.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a person who is living with their parents and their siblings, and then I know a person who belongs to Hijra community. I know a few, and they live around Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
Then I know a person who are living away from their family, but their biological family knows that
Okay.
okay, that particular person is belonging to third gender,
Mm-hmm.
and because we are afraid of accepting him or her, or due to any reason that they're not accepting that their child is belonging to third gender, so that particular person is living away from the family but
Okay.
wants to connect to the family. However, family is not ready to. So
Oh.
I know such cases. I know cases wherein they were abandoned right from the childhood.
Oh.
They were taken in by the community, by the Hijra community. Even if the person was merely like a girl who is not ready to wear girly clothes, or a girl who
Oh.
is not ready to comb her hair and grow out her hair and
Mm-hmm.
behave like a girl. So
Oh.
just for the sake of conforming to the right gender that the parents or the society perceives as right for her or him, right? So
Yeah.
even such people exist.
Yeah. True.
Yes.
True.
And they all have different stories, they all have their different circumstances, they all have their different reasons, and I would say that they are amazing if you just take out some time, and if you would actually genuinely would want to listen to them or their life stories, you would literally burst out into tears knowing that
Oh.
this person who is merely like somewhat 30 years old or close to 30, and that particular person has seen so much, have been through so much, and is now standing and still holding himself or herself or supporting themselves. They are stronger than probably anybody that you've met in your life. I know this thing.
I really pray that things get better for them, and at least now people become aware and give them opportunities. I know many companies are giving opportunities for
Yes, yes,
this transgender people, and that's a good thing. And that should
exactly.
happen in future also. I remember you narrating a story regarding a grandmother who was
Right, right, right. Right.
angry.
So it's like they are my neighbors. So it's a family wherein grandparents are there and parents are there, and they only have one child. She
Mhm.
is now probably 14 months old.
Okay.
So a couple of months back, I think in July, I was at home, and I noticed that the grandmother of that particular girl, so she is like ye to niche jati hai, she goes down, and then whenever I take her to play with her friends, she does not participate, or she does not indulges herself
Mhm.
into whatever the girls group is playing, but rather she's more interested in what the other group is playing, wherein majority of boys are there, or that she likes to play with balls, or she likes to play with trucks, or the tricycles that are there with her male friends. She does not like to
Oh.
sit with her female friends. So she
Okay.
is like, ये तो लड़की है, ये ऐसे अभी से ऐसे कर रही है. And her grandmother, see, I wasn't there when she took that child to play with her, right? I
Mm.
observed that she forced that particular child to come back to home, and
Oh.
at that particular time she was so angry. She was like, ये नहीं करती है, she doesn't conform to the activities that she should be doing because she is a girl. And that particular child is 12 months old, 13 months old.
Oh.
I mean, seriously, would it make any sense to her that she is not allowed to play with certain things and certain things she is supposed to play with? I
Yeah.
mean, seriously. And the best method or the best way in which children, develop and grow and learn things is via play, right?
Yes.
Children play, children explore, and that is how they grow themselves. That is how various aspects of development take their courses along the way. But I mean, I did not feel good at all. In fact, I told my mother, I was like, I told her right then that let her play, it's okay, it doesn't matter. She was like, and even she she lost her mind. She was like,
Oh my
नहीं
God.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं होता, ऐसे नहीं होता, ये अभी से ऐसे करेगी, बड़े होके बहुत दिक्कत देगी, उसके बाद में फिर हमें लोग बोलेंगे. I mean, she was thinking way ahead into future, right?
Yeah.
There is literally no need for it. And I told my mother, I was like, since I am not living here, you live here, and you come across her, or cross your path with her almost every second or third day. Maybe you can start, introducing her that, maybe start introducing the gender neutral society concept. Start telling her that it doesn't matter if she associates herself as a female, or if she's like, okay, I'm a girl, but still I would like to play with a ball or a truck, that is
Yeah.
also fine, right?
True.
And if she doesn't really feel herself as being someone who belongs to the female gender, or someone who associates herself as a girl, then again that is also fine. But at this point, I understand that telling this particular thing to her grandparent would be extreme. So I told my mother that,
Okay.
tell her that let her play with whatever she likes. She is a child.
Yes. Yes.
This is what happened, and God, I felt very bad for her. Seriously, it was something that that little child should not be, experiencing.
Yeah, I mean, the kid, now when she grows up, she will be traumatized for every small thing if she is not doing according to her gender, right? If she wants to wear
Exactly.
jeans, they might not let her wear jeans. If she wants to play with cars, or wear something blue, again there is a pink blue discrimination, like the
Correct,
color
correct.
also, toys also. So I see that a lot. But that should not
No,
be, done to kids. They should be allowed
not
to
at
do what they feel
all.
like.
Right, right. But that is the harsh way that society works. I
Yeah.
mean, not at all good for that particular child. And
Yeah.
there is a theory given by Erikson. It's a very popular theory. It's psychosexual development theory.
Mm-hmm.
So Erikson always, told us basically via his theory, he was like that when children develop, right, there is a stage which he called as autonomy versus shame and doubt. So in this particular stage, what happens is if you let the child explore, right, if you let the child be autonomous and go about his or her way, the child would develop a greater will, or the child would develop the right attitude and the right temperament to explore his or her child in the optimal manner. But at this particular time, if you are doubting the choices of the child, or if you are pointing that particular child regarding these little things, the child would develop a sense of shame or a sense of guilt, which will obviously be with the child for her entire lifespan. So why to do this? I mean, she is your
Yeah.
grandchild. Don't you love her?
The thing is, Vishaka, it's all about the mindset, what their parents, their forefathers, and it comes
Right,
from that. It's like a
right, exactly,
tradition of mind, the way you
exactly,
think, right?
exactly. Yes, yes,
So, yeah.
definitely.
Now, after all this serious talk, I have a fun segment for you. Okay,
Okay,
it's called a
right.
rapid fire round where I will be asking you three random questions, and
Okay,
you can answer them in one word or a sentence. Okay.
okay.
Now, you said you love cooking. So, what is that one signature dish you make?
Okay, those are donuts.
Ooh, wow,
Yes.
that's nice. I love donuts.
Oh, everybody loves donuts. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Okay. My second question is that tell
Hmm.
us about one weird habit you have.
One good habit I have is I mean, I don't know if you could tell or not, but I'm a very introvert person. Due to my profession, you could say, or due to my studies, I need to go out every day. But when I have a weekend off, I would not go out for 2 or 3 days. I would not step out of the house. That is how weird of an introvert I am.
Wow. Wow. I think I
Exactly. And
I
my
am of the
parents are
similar one.
okay, fine, right. I can relate. Because my parents are like, you are there, you're living alone. How are you surviving if you don't step out of your room for 3 days? Don't you feel weird? And I'm like, I'm comfy. I don't
Okay.
want to go out.
I think all the introverts can relate with you now.
Right, exactly, exactly. I'm sure, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. And introverts become extroverts online. So
Yeah, definitely. See, that is what is going on right now. Exactly.
yeah, yeah. See, like how
Exactly.
did we connect? How did we connect
Exactly.
through the
Right.
online world, right?
Right.
So
Right. And I am feeling pretty amazing, and I can tell. So are you?
yeah. Okay. My last question is you are a professor, you are doing PhD, right? So when you're studying, you might follow one secret secret tip to study or to memorize things, right? Can you tell that tip?
Right. Yeah, sure. I mention it to my students whenever they're having hard time grasping some concept.
Okay.
The key is to go through that same particular material, your study material, 3 to 4 times. I mean, I'm telling you, you wouldn't be able to help yourself in order to, if you would even want to forget it, you would not be able to forget
Okay.
it. And when you are about to recall or retrieve that information, right, you would even know on which paragraph, on which side of the page it is written. That is how well you can comprehend and retain that information if you
Okay.
go through that particular information 3 to 4 times.
3 to 4 times. Wow, that's amazing. Amazing tip.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the end of the rapid fire round, and your answers were amazing and informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You gave me this platform that I've been dying to speak I've been loving this. I wish we had more time and I wish we could continue. Or maybe future we can have another one. I
Yes,
would love it.
surely, surely. Okay, now we come to the last segment of our podcast where I would like to ask your advice for our listeners.
Okay. Since because you know that you can call me an advocate when it comes to working for transgender people in various segments. So one thing that I would like to request everybody who is listening to this, I would like to request that if you have come to this far, right, that is because you wanted to listen to it, because you wanted to know what is going on. I would really love it, and it would be great. It would be amazing if you could just discuss it, or if you could just, involve your family, and if you could just take my words to them. It would be amazing, because that is the entire point of this particular podcast, and that is entire agenda that I carry with me. If you are able to, start even introducing this concept to your parents, they would know that such thing also exists, right? They would know that there are members of the society who are readily available for these people, or who are, you can say, who would love to do something for these people. I know number of people who are just looking for an opportunity to do something for these people, right? So it would be great, it would be amazing if you could just take this concept, if you would just take my words and tell your parents that this is what goes on and this is how it should be. I think it would be amazing and it would make my day success.
Wow, that's actually a good advice. And this is what my podcast, wants to spread the message and awareness about. So, Vishaka, I thank you so much for taking time, making time for this podcast. And it was great knowing insights of the transgender community.
Right, right. I'm very thankful to you, Farheen, that we could do this together. I hope something, or even if we are able to, sensitize 5 people or introduce them to this thing, or if we get them to connect with the idea that we've been speaking on or that we've been discussing on, I think it would be a success, right?
Yes, yes, indeed. One step at a time.
Exactly, exactly. But what is important is that you be consistent, that you work
Yes,
on it. It
true.
doesn't matter that you have to do it entirely in a day. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's not even possible. But if you're just consistent, that is great.
Yep. Yes, totally agree. Okay, listeners, if you have liked this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This podcast also will be available on Spotify. This podcast will be available on 8 different podcasting platforms, also highlighted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on my WhatsApp status. Thank you for listening, and you have a great day ahead. Allah Hafiz.